My name is Joel, and I have Avoidant Personality Disorder. Avoidant Personality Disorder, or AvPD, as I'll be calling it throughout this video, is one of 10 recognized personality disorders. AvPD falls into Cluster C, with those personality disorders primarily characterized by fear and anxiety. It's estimated that around 10% of the population has at least one personality disorder, with 2% having avoidant personality disorder specifically. A personality disorder is when someone's characteristic means of relating to themselves and the world end up causing distress and make it hard for them to function in most, if not all, areas of life. While we all have our psycho-emotional difficulties, those with personality disorders have some collection of symptoms that are pervasive in their day-to-day experience and are largely baked into their personality. AvPD is described by the DSM-5 as a pattern of social inhibition, feelings of inadequacy, and hypersensitivity to negative evaluation. Those of us with AvPD have phobias related to ridicule, rejection, and humiliation, feeling on some deep level that others are harshly critical and that we are fundamentally unable to withstand their criticism. Because of this, we have a tendency to simply avoid situations where those things could happen. According to the DSM-5, someone must have at least 4 of the following symptoms to be diagnosed with avoidant personality disorder. Avoidance of any involvement with other people unless certain they will be liked. Restrained behavior in close relationships because they are afraid of being shamed or ridiculed. Deep concern about being criticized, disapproved of, or rejected in social settings. Shyness and withdrawn behavior in new situations out of fear of not meeting others' expectations or not being good enough. Feelings of ineptitude or inferiority to others based on low self-esteem. Avoidance of necessary risks normally taken to engage in new social contacts or other personal or professional pursuits for fear of feeling ashamed. I've linked a longer, unofficial list of diagnostic criteria in the description for those who would like to explore further. AvPD, like most personality disorders, is often accompanied by mood disorders like depression and anxiety, and sometimes with substance abuse. I personally suffered from some undiagnosed depressive disorder and anxiety disorder from adolescence up until very recently. I also suffered from body dysmorphia disorder in late adolescence, experiencing severe distress from perceived appearance flaws, and from 2 years of agoraphobia in my adulthood, essentially afraid to leave my house. I knew something was wrong with me throughout this period, but I didn't quite know what, and many of my symptoms went unnoticed because I was so acclimated to them. After being diagnosed with AvPD in early 2023, then some months later making some life changes and getting on an antidepressant, I'm now free from my comorbid conditions and doing better than I have in quite some time. It's generally believed that personality disorders are an unalterable piece of a person's identity. People with these disorders, rather than seeking a cure, seek recovery, where negative symptoms are diminished and one learns to live with them in healthier ways. My disorder is still with me, but it's no longer ruling my life the way it used to. Nowadays, I like to think of AvPD as a program that's always running in my head. This program does whatever it can to keep me away from social situations, which it sees as life-threatening. In more familiar situations, this program and its alarms are generally quiet. In novel situations, it tends to be louder. I'm often able now to move this program to the side and allow other more appropriate programs to take the lead. But AvPD is always threatening to reassume power. It's still difficult for me to initiate social interactions, to express myself freely, and to enter novel social or otherwise public situations, including posting this video. In virtually every social interaction, even with friends and family, AvPD's alarms are sounding in my head and causing me anxiety. I often give way to impulsive avoidant behavior still, allowing AvPD's program to take charge and deprive me of opportunities. Where this used to be the rule, however, it's now in many ways becoming the exception. I've learned how capable I truly am, and I've learned to recognize how kind and supportive people often are. I've managed to shed so many expectations and responsibilities that once weighed me down and made life seem hopeless. Avoidant personality disorder may always present challenges in my life, but I know now that that's something I can manage. Thanks for watching.